And now, hello everybody, my name is Christian, and welcome back to Skycast. And we have a couple days of severe weather that is going to be on the way, including anywhere from damaging winds, large hail, to even a few tornadoes possible. Let's go ahead and get right into it. And now today we do have a multiple areas of concern, actually, one being over here towards the Ohio Valley, where we do have a pretty much of an elevated tornado threat here as we get into the afternoon. Kind of a MCS, or a line of storms, is expected to fire off, and you can see this kind of spark about 9 or 10 o'clock in the night. This is going to be through the southern Illinois and Indiana portion, and once again that will have a possibility of there to be a few tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, but this is going to be more of a concern as we get into the past midnight hours of Eastern Standard Time. We get into 1, 2 o'clock where you have kind of this Boeing echo line of storms through this area, southern Indiana into portions of north and central Kentucky. And I am actually in this, so that is what we are going to be watching tonight. By 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that will move past north central Kentucky, and this will start moving into the rest of the slight risk, into portions of the marginal risk. And once again, as it kind of loses steam, that's going to bring some damaging winds, possibly a tornado or two, and some hail, scattered hail events within this. Now this will continue on with its strength towards the Owensboro, Elizabethtown area, but once again not expected to be too wild as we get into the morning hours, towards 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, as that does wind up losing steam. As we're looking over here at another slight risk of severe weather, this will have multiple areas, one being down here about 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, towards the North Nebraska, South Dakota area, and this is going to be kind of a line of storms with that as well. Could have some become supercellular within that, and that's going to be, once again, damaging winds, large hail, maybe a tornado or two. And then we have another area up here towards North Dakota and South Dakota where you can see those lines of storms fire off, and that is just going, once again, if those can remain supercellular, a few tornadoes, but large hail damaging winds are the main concerns for this area. As we get into tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and go through the graphics real quick. Once again, 5% tornado threat over here towards portions of the Ohio Valley where we do have that MCS line of storms. More of going to be a significant wind event towards the Central Plains area, and a hail event towards that area as well. But once again, damaging wind, a few large hail events possible within the Ohio Valley as well. Scattered strong to severe thunderstorms may occur across parts of the north central plains this afternoon and evening, and also over portions of the Midwest. This is going to be mainly this evening through the early overnight hours. So once again, as it does move through, it will kind of lose that strength, and we're going to continue to watch to make sure that it does do that. And then you can pause to read the sypnosis here if you would like, fairly large just due to the amount of areas that are involved in this. And then as we get into later portions, the Midwest is going to be fairly active for severe weather. You can see a day 2 for Tuesday got this slight risk of severe weather, portions of Missouri into Iowa and portions of Illinois. Tornado threat overall fairly low, actually extends through a decent amount of this marginal here, but you know, a brief tornado or two is possible. Main threats for this going to be some damaging winds, maybe a little bit of hail. Main threat though is going to be those wind gusts of 60, possibly 65 miles an hour. Scattered strong to severe storms will be possible across a broad region from the northern plains to the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Carolinas. A more concentrated severe wind threat is also possible across portions of the Corn Belt, and you can pause to read the sypnosis here if you would like to again. As we do get into portions of day 3, shifting a little bit west, a new severe threat for portions of Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, lost my words there for a minute, and portions of Minnesota. The probabilistic of this being severe is a 15%, so once again, pretty decent for this time of year. That slight risk will likely stay due to that confidence there. Scattered strong to severe storms are possible from the plains to the southern Great Lakes and portions of the Appalachians, even into portions of northern New England, which is going to be this area right here towards Pennsylvania. So overall, fairly pretty active severe weather week, so we are going to be continuing to watch that to see what it does. One other thing that we need to be paying attention to now is not only Atlantic, but Pacific hurricane season. Now down here towards portions of the Bahamas, Cuba, even including portions of Florida, a 50%, a 0 to 50% chance of a development of tropical development in this area. And for the most part, overall, within the 2 days, not really expecting much, but there is significant evidence to show that there is possibility of there to be some sort of tropical disturbance or some sort to spawn anywhere within the highlighted area here. So we're going to be continuing to watch that to see if it does become a named storm, possibly even a hurricane. But if we shift over here, multiple other areas kind of looking for that tropical storm development. This is going to be for the Pacific side, not the Atlantic, but the Pacific side. We have a 50 over 80% chance of development just south of Mexico. Just to the southeast of that, we have a 0 over 50% chance, so that's going to be the same as the one over here towards the Atlantic hurricane season. And then we also have this one over here towards Hawaii, a 0 over 30% chance of development. So all these areas, we are going to have to be watching for there to be some sort of tropical development area. Main concern does seem to be this one, just due to the amount of area that's at in the land and the impact on the United States and the islands. So we're just going to continue to watch this, see if anything does wind up coming of this. So overall, not really a long video. Just make sure that we're being weather aware for the sets of storms that is expected to come over the next little bit. Thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.